Dear friends of Grey Rhino, I'm very happy to be seeing y'all once again. So what has happened since the last time we've spoken? Okay, the stock market has been in a correction in the last 1 week. So the Nasdaq, since the peak in April, has corrected by about 7.5%. This I'm talking about the Nasdaq, which is a technology-heavy index. Okay, so what has been happening? Okay, just last night, so there was a release of the inflation data. So year on year, the inflation index is up 4.2%. What's the cause of that? Okay, so one of the reasons is because last year this time was actually a crisis time. So inflation was low last year, so we have a low base to start with. And then, of course, as I shared previously, we are expecting bouts of inflation this year. And the reason of that is because, as the vaccination takes effect, demand will start climbing. People can start to go out, the demand will start climbing. However, we've got to understand that the supply don't catch up immediately. For example, especially if some of these areas, where relates to, let's say, mining, they are still in the developing countries, where a lot of them, they have not received the vaccination, and hence is still in a severe stage of this lockdown, and hence the supply is not able to come on stream immediately as the demand increases, and hence this causes inflation to happen. For example, I just use two materials as example. First, copper. Copper, since the start of vaccination in last year October, has risen about 50 to 60%. And that's because copper is used for many of these renewable projects, and because the supply is still very much limited because the mining has not been taking place yet. And lumber has climbed about 200% since last year October. And the reason of that is because increase in the home demand. As people are buying home, as more people are staying home, and people are doing renovation, and the demand has picked up, and yet the supply is languishing, and yet these are causing prices to go up. So this is what has happened. In fact, this is what I've shared previously in the Grey Rhino YouTube channel as well, which we are expecting inflation to be happening in this year. At the time I shared, I think inflation is expected to be a transient phenomenon. But I still hold on to that view because, I think if vaccination can take effect for a larger part of the world, then gradually I think supply is able to catch up. And as the supply catch up, this imbalance will start to disappear, and that's where inflation will start to ease. However, I don't expect that to be anytime very soon, because in places like, let's say, India, where we are still having a very severe stage of this COVID-19. So I think, this situation will likely ease, maybe even into 2022. What does this mean for us as investors? Well, instead of looking at it as a time of fear, I think it really gives us a time of opportunity, because we have about a year, where we have bouts of volatility, bouts of market decline, which we can use the opportunity to be buying into growth company, which is what I said start of this year. Well, if you have a lot of growth company, I think it was time to pad down. I hope you did. And if you have a reasonable amount, I think it could remain. Hence, if there are times like that, I think it's an opportunity to be start buying in. But as I say, there's no need to be in a big rush, because I think this phenomenon will continue into this year. So let's say if there's bouts of volatility, use the opportunity to buy a little bit. And also for the cyclical companies, let's say those that are more sensitive to the economic reopening. I don't think we've seen the end of it yet. I think this kind of recovery will be continuing. And hence I say in a portfolio, how should we position? Let's just talk about equities portion. Of course, we've talked about asset allocation. I think that is still important. We should still have a very balanced asset allocation. But if you talk about equities components, I think it's prudent to have a certain portion that is to the growth company, which will have, I would say, many years of good fortunes left. Yeah. And then we have the cyclical, which is the tactical holdings. Yeah, because of this economic recovery, I think we have not seen the end, so I think it's good to have part of that as well. Yeah, so I really recommend to have a balance of the different kind of stocks, growth, cyclical stocks, and still keep plentiful or a reasonable amount of cash, such that when there's parts of volatility, especially for growth companies, I think it's time to be it is good to be buying into it. Yeah, because I think we have this window of opportunity, which I think may last about a year or so. Yeah, which will be an opportunity for us as investors. Okay, so that's what I'd like to share with you. We are just in the midst of this correction. I think more is we have not seen the end of it. So if you have any comments, please feel free to list it down below, so that we could have a conversation. And then till then, I will see you again in the next Grey Rhino YouTube session. Thank you very much for listening in, and have a great day ahead. If you'd like to be listening regularly to the Grey Rhino YouTube to gain more financial knowledge and also investment wisdom, do subscribe below to the Grey Rhino YouTube channel, and remember to turn on your notification.